In this video, I'm going to explain exactly how you can recover faster as a runner. The first thing I want to talk about is antioxidants. A study found that there was only a slight benefit of consuming antioxidants, and for a while I've thought there was like a major benefit, but the study said that there was only a small benefit. But either way, those foods that have the antioxidants that you would be consuming are healthy foods nonetheless, and they contain a lot of good other nutrients as well as the antioxidants, which have the small effect. So I would still recommend them as a good recovery tool. The next thing I want to talk about is rolling out and stretching. Stretching is a pretty common thing for a lot of runners to do after their runs, especially because it's taught a lot in high school programs. But rolling out is just as or even more important for recovery, and both of these reduce inflammation and muscle tightness, which are both really vital in helping you recover after a run. The third thing I want to talk about is examining the productivity of your mileage. If you're doing a huge jump in between your mileage from a season ago to now, that might not be totally necessary, and it could be putting a lot of stress on your body that you're not ready for. So say if you were doing 30 miles a week last season, and then now this season you're doing 50, you potentially don't need to be doing that much to continue improving, and you can still have a lot more time to improve later in your career. And so you could do 40 miles this season instead of 50, and it's going to take a lot of stress off your legs, but you should still be able to improve. Another thing I want to talk about is consuming protein. This is really important, and when protein goes into your body, it gets broken down into amino acids, and then these amino acids are then used to repair your muscles after a workout. I also think it's important to mention to not overdo it. Protein is already pretty overrated, even though it is really important still, but it's kind of overrated, and if you take too much of it, some of that protein will just turn into fat in your body, and then some of the amino acids will just get excreted out and they won't even get used. So just make sure you're getting enough, but there's no need to overdo it. The next two things I want to talk about can kind of be grouped together. So the first one is ice baths. So similar to how if you had like shin splints, you would be icing your shins to reduce that inflammation in your shins and to help them recover and not feel bruised or whatever. So that kind of works in the same way, but not so much for an injury. So if you have an ice bath, it reduces the inflammation all throughout the part that is cold, because that's what the cold does to your body. And inflammation is one of the driving factors of feeling sore or having like tired legs after a workout and on to the next day. So take an ice bath and that will reduce inflammation. The second part of the tip is to take Epsom salt baths. These have been shown to reduce stress as well as muscle pain and muscle soreness. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically where it's a normal bath, like it's warm water instead of an ice bath, and then you put Epsom salt into the bath and then that dissolves, and then it has those sort of effects that I already went over. So those are the two other things I wanted to talk about. The last thing I want to touch on is kind of cliche, but it's really important, and I feel I have a little bit of unique knowledge to put on this to help you, and it's something you'll probably hear in all the other recovering tips videos. So that is sleep. Sleep is really important, but remember that the time that you lay down and the time that you wake up is not necessarily the amount of sleep you're getting total, because it takes time to fall asleep, and then it also matters how much light and deep sleep you get. So every once in a while I'll wear my watch to bed, and then it'll tell me how much light, deep sleep, and total sleep I have, because sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and not remember, and this happens to a lot of people. So you're not actually getting the full amount of sleep. So I think it's really cool if you have a watch like that that can do that, to test that every once in a while and just to see how much sleep you're getting on a daily basis.
Swerving through lanes, I be drifting away, and I can't complain, swear that I be okay. We are not the same, no, I'm never gonna change.